Hey, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and I'm joined by Squeaks.
Squeaks.
And today we are talking day 4, the final day of E3 2021. Been a long and great adventure, but we got to see some really cool games. Today we're focusing on Nintendo. Squeaks, you're a big Nintendo fan, right?
I am very big.
You were so subdued about that, though.
Because I was not impressed today.
Yeah. So what were you expecting from the announcements?
I was expecting some actual updates on stuff that was announced a couple years ago, and things that are kind of rumored.
Yeah.
The big one I think would be that Switch Pro. We've been hearing a lot of like here and there information about it. Obviously with specs and the bigger screens. Also, as well as when I said past and kind of like follow-ups, is that Metroid 4 Prime. I was kind of really expecting to see something to do with that. Instead, you gave me something else, that a Metroid game that I'm really not hyped up about. Also, I was kind of hoping that Nintendo would finally do another a brand new IP.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. We didn't really see anything there. Yeah, I mean, kind of a letdown to me.
A
to be
new
honest.
IP is a great idea. Nintendo hasn't really put out a new IP, and I couldn't tell you the last one, honestly. Seems like they're always using like, Fire Emblems. Sure, it feels new, but it was something from the Super Nintendo. Like a brand new.
I think the last one we got was the I can't tell which one came first. It was fairly new with the Switch, but it was either Splatoon 2 and ARMS.
Yeah, Splatoon.
Well, Splatoon 2 is not a new IP, but Splatoon, period,
Splatoon,
whatever.
Yeah. But
So ARMS would be the newest.
I think Splatoon's got some actual traction on that too. I think they could actually use that for other games as well. I would like to see it just a regular kind of like FPS adventure game or a platformer with the Splatoon character, because that's actually a really cool IP there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the Switch Pro is kind of the thing that we were all disappointed about in general. Let's go ahead and go through the announcements. There was some really good stuff, some really exciting things, and see what we have here. So, first off, we have a new Smash tune, and this is also the first disappointment, right? Because it wasn't the Smash tune everybody wanted. We got he's from Tekken. We got Kazuya, and it was a really cool trailer where he's kind of like throwing Ganon off a cliff and stuff. Are you excited for this character, and who did you really want?
I'm excited for the character. I'm not a big Tekken fan, so it doesn't get me like super hyped. But I do kind of like that whole comparison to now with Ken and Ryu.
Yeah.
With Street Fighter. Who would I really wanted? That's a good one, actually. I think I would have taken. I think I would have done maybe some more like Resident Evil characters. Because they've had revelations in the past. On Nintendo device, so it'd been really neat to kind of see I mean, I know they've done it with the Marvel vs. Capcom, but kind of see like a Nemesis or something, or anything that maybe represented Resident Evil Revelations.
Yeah.
There
was a lot of like hopes and dreams for Master Chief, but that was far fetched. Would have loved it, of course.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dante from Devil May Cry.
I would love Dante.
He's my big stretch out there, but I don't think that's really been on much for Nintendo, But Crash Bandicoot would have been great. Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro too. If you're gonna get Crash, you get Spyro. Get both those guys in there. They would do really cool things on the console, on the Smash Brothers. But no, we got a character I'm okay with. Apparently,
I can see that because that would work really well with the Banjo that they just came out with recently.
Right.
So you could have had like another platform, well, not platform, but a type of game like that in a way.
Yeah,
a Crash or a Spyro.
Which is kind of they fit great in Nintendo's brand, so there was no reason to not do something like that. Instead, Tekken it's pretty niche, so it's just not grabbing the headlines, especially with it being the opening announcement. That's where you want to bring as much fire as possible. And instead they had this one, so it's whatever. We found out Life is Strange. All those are coming to the Switch, which is really good. They seem to be fitting for that. Worms, Astria Ascending, a bunch of these smaller titles. 2 Point Campus has been making a really big splash at E3. Every single like Xboxes, I mean, it's been everywhere. This 2 Point Campus follow up to the 2 Point Hospital, which I do need to play. Super Monkey Ball. It was cool to see them doing their anniversary. You were playing that back in the day?
Yeah, a long time ago. So it was kind of, cute and neat to see that again. But it wasn't anything that, it was just neat to see.
the like teaser for it had like a bunch of bananas in the background. I'm like, are we getting a new freaking DK game? Oh my god.
Man.
And so my hopes were up here, but then I was like, I mean, Monkey Ball. It's cool to see Monkey Ball outside. Okay, so the first real big announcement then is Mario Party Superstar. It's basically another Mario Party game. I at first was like, okay, not that excited, but I was watching them play in the treehouse that was afterwards, and just nostalgia left and right because this is pulling from like Mario Party 2 and 3 and stuff, some of the classics. Have you ever played a Mario Party game, and are you interested in getting back into it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I've played every single Mario Party game. I have the recent Mario Party on the Switch. So this trailer did make me like, man, I need to whip that back out and start playing with some people. But I'm interested. There's some new maps, right?
I believe so. Yeah, but they're only showing like a lot of N64 maps that are redesigned.
Yeah, and I get that because it's nostalgia or whatever. You want to, kind of hype it up for E3, But and there better be some new ones in there too.
I'm sure there will be. They're not like expensive maps to make. But yeah, there are some really great ones. They were showing off the Peach Birthday one, which is a classic. Yeah. And then that one, I can't remember what it is, but there's like a laser beam that'll shoot down the middle of the map sometimes from N64 days as well. It's just, it's a real intense one. But it's just such a good fun party game. And now that everybody's starting to hang out more and we're getting back out there and like, we're open now. It's cool to have games that are like couch co-op. Here we go, man. I'm excited for couch co-op to come back.
Definitely.
The other big announcement that Nintendo's really kind of hanging their hat on for this E3, it's actually probably what they feel is their biggest announcement, is Metroid Dread. I liked the game, but the fact that it was announced instead of a Prime, just total buzzkill. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think the game looks awesome. I mean, it's the typical side-scrolling Metroid. I like the graphical upgrades for sure. Yeah. It looks super clean. I like some of the cutscenes that they kind of show, like when you were getting defeated or when you're fighting someone. That little clip, that was pretty neat. I mean, like I was going back to the graphics on this. I do like how it feels as a whole environment, like a whole, like you can see it all, just and it's a 2D style, so that's neat. But I think, like you were saying, it's not the Prime that was said that they, kind of like teasered us a couple years ago. And instead, this is what we're working on for Metroid. I mean, I'm sure there's different teams, but still, come on.
And they did say something along the lines of like, hey, we're working on a Metroid 5 or whatever. And it was like, then we need to see some footage. We need to see some Prime. We need to see something. And then we also heard that this game will be the closing of the Metroid story against the Metroid villain, right? So we might see a new branch of games that are just under Samus's name or something like that, which I'd be very much down for because the character is a lot of fun and as she powers up, she gets cooler and cooler. I do like that this game is doing that old school Metroid back in the like old school days where you have the map and then you're like discovering new parts of the map and you go back to the old parts.
Yeah.
That feels good. That does feel good.
Yeah. I mean, one good thing out of it did have a release date that's not too long away. So
what was the release date?
I didn't catch that. October 20 something. I think 22.
Yeah, that's not bad. A lot of Nintendo's things were that way. Like a lot of Nintendo stuff's coming out this year.
Yeah, that is nice.
We had Just Dance 2022. Which at some point I'm gonna buy a Just Dance game, just because like I always see them advertising. I'm like, what the hell? You liked Rock Band, like why don't you just dance it out? So maybe I'll do something like that.
Okay, that's a great comparison,
right? Like I just need something that's fun. Cruising Blast, Dragon Ball Z something. Mario. Right, I just don't remember what it's called.
Okay.
Well, my notes are they were announcing stuff so fast. I'm jotting down notes like crazy. Then we had a Mario Golf. This is the new Mario Golf. This wasn't necessarily a new announcement. We just saw some more footage of it. Mario Kart or Mario Golf on the 64 was a blast. I think I had it on the GameCube as well. Would you consider buying another Mario Golf?
All day one.
Yeah, really? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely love those games. Super fun. Yeah.
Would you prefer this over just like a PGA game?
Yeah, because the only time I want to take golf serious is when I'm actually on the field. Yeah. I like this little fun over than like the, what do you call it? The McAfoy, if I'm saying his last name right, PGA. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, because this is something you don't take so serious,
Yeah. I've been interested in playing a golf game. A buddy of ours who joins the stream a lot, he plays PGA a lot of times, and it just sounds really good. And then we play, golf with your friends all the time.
Yeah,
it's a little different, but this does sound like a lot of fun and something I might pick up. would you use your controllers or would you actually like use the Joy-Con as like an actual swing, like the Wii days?
Dang, that's pretty fun. I think I would use a controller on, like, say if I'd definitely do both. If I'm not in the mood, I'm playing by myself, I'll use just the controller to aim and do whatever. But if I have like people over, then it's like, yeah, we're getting up and swinging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was telling Daniel was on yesterday's show, and I was like, this year, now that we're back together, I am doing a big ass Christmas party this year, and so I might go buy that in television just so we all have like a thing we can play together and whatever. But this is a really good game. Same with that Mario Party, actually, a really good game for that Christmas party kind of thing, where you're just like hanging out. This is we got to kind of plan that.
Yeah. Stuff. Heck yeah.
We got to see Monster Hunter Story 2 again. They showed off yesterday. They're back today. This game has blown me away because I'm not a Monster Hunter fan at all. But the stories looks like an anime that I would be digging on. And so I'm out to go buy this. Did you have a chance to watch yesterday's trailer? And this one, of course?
No, I didn't see Monster Hunter. I was a little delayed because of one. I mean, we had a big match today.
Yeah.
Saying off topic.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that they're going with these Monster Hunter stories. I haven't tried the first one.
Yeah, it's on the DS.
Yeah, so, I mean, I wonder if it's as good as, we discussed this recently with the Telltale Stories of Walking Dead. I wonder if it's as good as that.
It kind of feels like that. Like, it has combat, but the combat is closer to Pokemon, it almost seems. Because instead of just, like, fighting all monsters, there are some that you, like, tame and gain and ride and stuff. So, and it feels like it's more cutscenes than anything else in a nice way. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I might go give that DS game, actually.
Shoot.
That was something cool to check out. WarioWare has a new game. Everybody's been begging for a new Wario game, but it's the WarioWare. Get it together. So Wario has two different kinds of games that can come out. They have the platformers. It's basically like a Mario game, but hardcore. And those, you like go through the map, and then once you get to the end, in classic Wario fashion, you have to sprint back as fast as possible with his dodge or with his dash. Then there are the WarioWare games that are a series of mini games. Are you happy we're getting a WarioWare game, or would you want the platformer instead?
I'm the most effing disappointed that I'm going to see another WarioWare game made, because I'm one of those people. Wario's my favorite Nintendo character, and I'm one of those people that like I need a Wario World game again.
Yeah, well, there it is.
So, I still like what I had on the DS. I bought that very old Game Boy one, which is just black and white. I love these games.
Yeah.
And I swear to freaking God, if I keep seeing these stupid ass WarioWare games, I'm just gonna chuck everything I own that's Wario.
Well, and the development time for a classic Wario World cannot be that hard. It's just a platformer. We're not asking for anything crazy. There's one on the Game Boy Advance that is, it is just so repeatable. It's a blast to play. And it's that really cool thing of where like you're going one way and you're not really noticing the obstacles you're going to face when you have to come back. But as soon as you hit the end, you have to sprint back. And it's all of a sudden like that one drop that wasn't a big deal. It's all of a sudden like, how the hell do I get back over this? It's a blast. So Nintendo, hear us out, man.
With all the other platforms that they make for Mario, it's like, why not you just switch the colors and change it to Wario?
Yeah,
It
put
can't
some pounds
be that
on
hard, you know?
Make them a bit chunky and you're set. Okay, so we have a couple other games that are coming out there. Of course, Nintendo Switch has always been really infamous for their indie games. We have Doom Eternal coming, Ancient Gods Part 1 coming to the Switch. When I'm watching this trailer, it's painfully aware that this is not a Switch Pro. This thing does not look like it should for Doom Eternal. Do you think Nintendo should even pursue these kind of AAA titles that do really well on the Series X and PS5?
I believe they should, because there's definitely there has to be a market of people that want these first-person shooters like on the go. Yeah. I think it's there. I think they would sell. I don't think they would sell as much because I'm playing Doom Eternal on my PC and it's freaking gorgeous, you know. So I would hate to downgrade when it comes to the graphics. But I think it's out there because I would love to just pick up a Call of Duty type game and just go with it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a shame to see it lacking so much in graphics. Like for a great example is Outer Worlds. Literally, if you play Outer Worlds on the Switch compared to everything else, they actually have to put less trees in the game because there's just too much for the thing to handle.
It hurts, yeah. Yeah.
And so, just another example of why they need to switch. And again, with Tony Hawk 1 and 2, the next game that was remastered, or announced that the remaster for those, it looked awful. It actually looked awful on the Switch. Sure. And it's like, man, this thing on the PC and on the PS5 is freaking gorgeous. So, again, a shame.
It's a shame that it looks horrible. I mean, what is it, like a direct port of like old school Tony Hawk games from 64 days or something?
Sadly,
like that's what it looks like.
I'm not even talking shit. It looks closer to the 64 version than it did to the rebuilds, which is a big surprise to me because that game looks really
hurts.
good now.
Yeah, that hurts. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Mario Rabbids. We expected that. The next big announcement I did not see coming at all, and I mean they couldn't have fucking blown me away more. One of those moments on Twitch I was blowing up. Advanced Wars.
Oh yeah.
Rebuilt, remastered. We have 1 and 2 coming out called the Reboot Camp game. I already pre-ordered it. It's already on its way as soon as it can.
Nice.
Coming out in the first week of December, apparently. And then they said they're working on an Advanced Wars 3.
That's awesome.
I just can't wait for this. Are you grabbing this so we can play against each other?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, this just brings up memories of us camping.
Yeah.
We talk about it how many times?
I know.
I was a little skeptical, like, why are we remaking it? You know, like, why can't we just have the 3? But it was nice to hear that 3 announcement as well. But I do like how this is a full scale remodel. It's not just like 2D stuff. I like how when they show like the armies clashing with each other, that they look like actual, like 3D models basically compared to what it was on the Game Boy. I like how seeing those 3 main characters again, like the buff dude, Andy, I think I still remember his name, and then the female. I was like, man, that just looks good.
And there's times like they showed the guy from the Eagle. They show him, like, oh, he's using planes. That's his strong point. Like, you kind of already, it's already starting to fire up again. We're like, Andy repairs things. Like, it's already kicking in a little bit.
It's a blast.
It's such a great game. It's like the best version of Rochambeau, where like a Pokemon where, electric and stone, like the Rochambeau. It's great at that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there is, now I'm already so happy and Nintendo enough to do it, but I hope there's a way to switch on pixel mode or whatever to get those old school graphics back a little bit. I think that'd be really cool.
Dang. Yeah, that'd be kind of neat to do.
Yeah. Sure. All right. We return to Hyrule for Breath of the Wild 2. We got a big trailer for this. Are you returning to Hyrule with me?
No, I don't know why you're even going to Hyrule in the first place with this one.
I feel like at this point, so I didn't even finish the first game. That's what's crazy. Although I have watched some pretty cool streamers play it and stuff, and it gets me through the story. But I almost feel like I have to because, I mean, it's so Nintendo, and it's like, as podcasters and stuff like that, there's some games that you just kind of like, somebody needs to play Cyberpunk kind of thing. And this is kind of on that list to me. So I'm not hyped for it, but I'm going to play it.
Yeah, I'm not hyped for it. Unfortunately, I know I'm not the only one that thinks this way, but I think Breath of the Wild is overrated.
Yeah.
I don't like the breaking of the weapon system. I much rather have like start off with the Master Sword and Shield and kind of have like a little talent tree or a little buff up tree and doing the dungeons to unlock maybe special abilities with that. I think this really leaves like more questions, to be honest, because in the end of the first one, Ganon's defeated. Okay, cool. This trailer didn't really show anything but you exploring it, and then at the very end, hey, it looks like that Calamity shit is back. So can the story be as strong as the first one, or is it going to be a lot weaker than the first one?
Right.
And that's kind of like a worrisome to me. I'm just picturing the same nonsense of the first one, I believe, to what I believe is nonsense.
Yeah.
And the first one just moving on to the second one.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And there's a huge community out there of people who like to make bugs for the game and stuff like that, or try to do speedruns. This game's famous for speedruns. And so I'm excited to see how the community is going to use, like, there's new abilities. There's one of them where he's able to go through walls and stone. How are they going to be able to use that to manipulate the game to speedrun it faster? Like, I'm excited for the community to get a next installment, not so much for me to play the next game. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Grand Theft Auto. I'm sure there's people out there who don't like Grand Theft Auto, but the Grand Theft Auto community is so fun to watch them do crazy shit that I want them to get another game.
Yeah, for sure.
Although the next GTA, I'm gonna lose money. They're great. All right, so that basically includes Nintendo, and then for the rest of the day we had Dark Pictures announced, but that was the only game that was announced from Bendeco. But that was basically it for E3, and that closes the events of the day. It was a solid E3, the first time back after the pandemic and stuff like that. We had to expect some hiccups. How do you think ESA handled E3 as a whole this year?
I mean, they're just trying to play it safe again, to be honest. I mean, it's almost like it kind of sucks because you almost get the feeling like, why do we need E3 anymore? You know, all these they just proved that everyone could just do it virtually like they did. So why? It's kind of neat because it's that week of gaming, right? But it's unfortunate because we already have some developers that started doing their own things. Okay, so Nintendo started doing the Treehouse, but cool, it's in that during the week. But then you see Sony, like, we're not a part of anything anymore. We're just gonna do our PlayStation experience and sometime in September, August, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a shame. I feel like this just proves of why are we ever going to go back to that physically being at E3? I think it should happen just for the community.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a bummer. But I mean, at least we got some great announcements.
There was a really cool panel that was just like the editor-in-chief of like IGN, GameSpot, Polygon, GameIndustry.biz, and one other, I can't remember. So these guys that are all just like on the journalist side, and it was a very interesting panel to listen into. And they mentioned one thing they're talking about is like last year was proof that we needed an IG or an E3 because when everybody's sporadically doing it, it was these random announcements and nothing to focus the coverage on. And here we are now. We're about to do top 5 E3 2021s. With everything focused on one point like this, you can really compare games to each other. It creates this hype atmosphere.
Yeah.
And they were saying that like back in the day, you'd bring everything to E3 and hope CNN would cover it or hope that ABC would cover it. Somebody from mainstream. And the industry's changing so much now that it's like, hey, CNN, if you're not covering video games, you're missing out. Like, because the video games are becoming, I mean, you make more money out of a video game than you do out of a freaking movie. So,
yeah.
We're seeing the industry change and the media around it. Next year's E3 is a physical event. We're going to be there, right? They already announced that E3 2022 will be in LA. It'll be a physical event. What do you want to see them do different next year to respark your love for the conference?
I think so I have to be in the environment, like if like what Nintendo used to do. Nintendo, where they announce their games, but you come to the Nintendo panel and everything is decked out with just structural designs and whatnot to make me really feel like I'm in it. To like celebrate in the world of Nintendo in a way.
Right.
I think that would really make it extremely memorable. I think also as they need that, it's kind of like that level. It's like, hey, we haven't had a physical E3 in this many years. We're gonna just bash you with a crazy amount of fun in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they must get PlayStation. They have to get PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that we had just the day in between, I'm not going to lie, I love E3 and but that day in between Microsoft and Nintendo where there was basically just Razer, me and Daniel went over the stuff. It was a day of rest for a lot of us. A day we could kind of relax, write articles about the day before. It was disappointing to not have Sony right there. And they haven't been there for a bit, but still, that should have been the Sony event. And then we're sitting here talking like Outer Worlds versus God of War 2. Honestly, Sony would announce the shit that we know is on the horizon for Sony. They would have taken the show.
Yeah.
Just showing us a trailer for God of War 2, I'd be fucking there.
that trumps everything. Just that God of War trailer.
Right.
That'd be huge. That'd be huge. I would like to see Nintendo back on the stage instead of this treehouse thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
Man, bring them back. Just bring everyone back. Just give us the community that 1 week of just everything being there,
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
And goddamn, we're BlizzCon fans through and through. So we know what it's like when you see a big convention and the amount of hype when you're on the floor is nothing like when you're at home watching it on the stream. Not even the same.
Not even.
So I know next year's E3 is going to be exciting. And it's just like, how can you guys make it to where it's even better for the people at home? And I think there's a few things that could fix in.
Sure.
Get the PlayStation back. If you got to pay PlayStation to come back, like that's the thing is Xbox and Nintendo pay ESA, like it's a little over $100,000 to show at E3. Yeah. And it's like for PlayStation, I don't want to say you shouldn't charge PlayStation, but maybe don't charge any of them and be happy they're there to be the tentpoles of your guys' event, maybe. I don't know. Just It seems nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our top 5 E3 announcements. All right. You go ahead and kick us off. No, I'll start us off so that you can finish with whatever you pick. And I'm sure we'll have crossovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with number 5, Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
I know, right? I'm picking this because I am not necessarily a Monster Hunter fan. I watch some streamers play. There's a YouTuber, Jojo Cat, that does it a lot. It's really fun. It's just not my type of game. But then watching the Monster Hunter Stories 2 trailer and realizing, like, that's the part that I wanted. I wanted that deep story, the anime type story, that would get me into this universe. And knowing that I'm going to buy my first Monster Hunter game when that thing releases. So that was it.
Wow.
Enough to introduce me to an IP that I've just haven't been interested in, and now I'm a fan of it. That was pretty big. So that's my number 5.
Nice. Wow. Okay.
What do you got over there?
Okay. So my number 5, I'm going to go with Redfall from the Xbox.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I really was digging the trailer. I think I really like those like Universal monsters and those classic ones like vampires, werewolves, whatever. So it was kind of neat to see a new take on the vampire design.
Yeah.
So that kind of turned me on. And what I liked was, I mean, unfortunately, it is just all cinematic. But what I liked was that we saw the humans that were fighting the vampires, that they were more of crazy tech abilities than it was just like people with powers. I thought that was kind of neat too. I like that chick when she had that umbrella thing, that umbrella that just pushed the vampire back.
Yeah, that was really cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so I'm
almost
really
like
for that game.
Yeah, it's like magic through technology. It was really cool.
Yeah. I like that. That's something. It's nice to venture off the superpower gig, you know, to see something different like that.
Yeah. And with Time to Breathe, I've become more of a fan of Redfall. The day that it was announced, I was kind of like, there was other games that announced, but then as E3 progressed, I was like, that Redfall game actually has some feet to stand on. So hopefully we see some more from that. My number 4 is the Battlefield trailer, 2042. That game, like, it has been so long since I've been like, Battlefield, hell yeah. I'm back to that. Battlefield, hell yeah. It was just all adrenaline. I'm sitting there in my seat just like, oh my God, it's so much coming at me. I'm excited to get back into a classic shooter like that. I don't play Warzone, I'm just not interested in it. PUBG's full of cheaters, and God, believe it or not, I'm a Fortnite man myself, to be honest with you now. Was just on there last night. By the way, got a duos win, and Zayden's going to say he carried me, but I'm pretty sure assists count as kills, so I'm fine, okay?
Hey, he probably wouldn't get the kill without the assist.
I tried to convince him that, and he was not on board, but I tried to convince him. So yeah, I'm down for Battlefield. What about you?
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
So I'm gonna do number 4. You know what? I'm gonna speak real quick on that Battlefield.
Yeah.
Daniel, who's on the show whenever, was talking shit like, yeah, you could just jump off of buildings and shit on Call of Duty. Like, no, bro, nothing on Call of Duty looks like it's at that level. So don't try to downplay Battlefield. Okay.
Yeah.
God.
He's such a Warzone fanboy. You know how he is. He's such a loyalist to his games, and everything else can't be right. And so we'll see. When we're all playing Battlefield, I bet money out of he buys it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That's funny. So my number 4 was something that we didn't talk about right now, but my number 4 is going to be Fatal Frame coming back.
Wow.
To the Switch. Yeah. Man, I tell you what, when I used to play those games, man, I was scared shitless as a little boy sitting there. I was like, oh my God, there's some heavy breathing going on. Where's that? Where's the ghost? And it's like, oh shit, that's myself. Scared as hell. But I was, that one like blew me away. I was like, what? Fatal Frame's coming back. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like super sexy or anything. It's on the Switch, so graphically, it doesn't look the best. But I'm just happy to see another Fatal Frame.
I just went right over it. I didn't even register it as like a big announcement. But man, that's a good catch.
Yeah.
Fatal Frame.
I think this is. I could be wrong, but I think this is the third one ever made because I know there was 2 for sure.
Yeah.
So this could be the third one. Yeah.
Well, my third one, I'm pretty sure has got to be on your list somewhere. On your list, Sea of Thieves: A Pirate's Life. Okay, so did you see? I tweeted at you earlier that they put up a thing where they're going through a portal to the Barbosa area, or to the Pirates of the Caribbean area. Did you see that?
No, I haven't been on Twitter. Okay, what?
So
explain.
It looks like it's too big. You know, the jagged rocks come out in the ocean. I gotta play some more fucking Sea of Thieves. Just talking about it gets me jived. There's these 2 jagged rocks that are like meeting at the ocean, and then in the middle is this green circling portal, and the ships are about to go through it. So that means that they are expanding the ocean. There will be another ocean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's from Sea of Thieves, so that is confirmed.
Do you think that portal will only be... Okay, it looked like the whole world was crazy Pirates of the Caribbean, right? That trailer. Do you think that Portal will just take you to a Pirates of the Caribbean Sea. So if people don't have to feel like, oh, I don't really like that feel, that we'll just go back and play normal.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it actually looks like you're going to like the Dead Man Chest area, you know, where like the way they were pitching it was like there's another. So yeah, actually the tweet was something along the lines of there's easier ways to get there than flipping your ship upside down. It was what they said.
Yeah.
And so that's referring to, of course, when they went back from the land of the dead or whatever. I know, right?
Yeah. It's like stop. God, so clever.
I love Rare. I love Sea of Thieves. They do a great job. So that was my number 3.
Yeah. Okay. So my number 3 is going to be Advance Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And I mean, we talked plenty of it already, but just the nostalgia. I was playing it back in the day. I'm pretty excited for the Advance Wars. Yeah.
Advance Wars is my number 2. Almost my number 1. I'm kind of like, it can really be switched. I'm excited for a new era of fans to discover the game. I think, like I've said before, I think it's the best version of Rochambeau. I think it is really a great strategic game. That's a fun pick up and go. And I think we're at the era now where like couch co-op's coming back strong, and with the online play, you can imagine this thing's gonna have online play and all kinds of little advancements that we expect today. It could not be a better time for Advance Wars, so I'm excited. And then Advance Wars 3, who knows what that'll have? So that's gonna be exciting. It's, by the way, I pre-ordered it. It's $60 for the remaster, so it's not even. I thought it was gonna be like $40 or something like that because it's the old school games. Oh no, it's full price. So that shit's rebuilt. They put a lot of money into that. All right, so that was my number 2. What was yours?
Okay, my number 2. Okay, my number 2 is going to be the Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Yeah. I was fucking turned on the whole time I was watching that trailer. Dang, it was so good. But yeah, that's my number 2.
Our text group was blowing up when that came out.
Goodness, man.
I was in the midstream, so I didn't text anybody. I was in the midstream, and I was just like, I need to tell Squeaks this, and then you put it up in the tweet or the text, and I was just like, right, and then everybody else is on board, sharing trailers and stuff, and they got the voice actors for it, man. It's amazing.
Ah, man. Just when a new character from Pirates of the... I mean, I'm not a crazy huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. I mean, some of the movies were kind of just like dropping horribly later on. But just to see the characters from the movies kind of like pop up and talk to you, you're like, fuck yeah, I want to talk to Jack.
Right.
Come on now.
And I haven't, I have not seen the newest Pirates of the Caribbean, but like for the Blackbeard one, in defense of those movies, they never told you that, hey, we're going to make this like super tight plot hole or plot hole less story. If you think that, then don't watch 2 and 3 because there's plot holes left and right. They're about having fun and like pirates shooting at each other. One of the big things, it's like the ships when they sail away from each other, like in opposite directions, the sails are both at full mast. So it's like, what do you guys have 2 different airs? How's that working out? Who cares?
Oh, I didn't think about that actually.
Oh, it's rampant in those movies. Actually, it's all over the place because the ships are always battling, and then they're all at full sail. So how's that possible? Nevertheless,
yeah, that's really critical. It's a movie, guys.
Well, you hear it all the time from these haters, and it's just like they're fucking pirates. You know how like fictional pirates are in general? Like they're not even that real.
Gosh.
So it's just I can't wait.
They're not even normal pirates, bro. We're literally fighting ghosts.
Yeah.
like how serious do you want to take this movie?
Oh, those sails aren't right. Oh yeah, what about the giant lady that turned into a bunch of pile of crabs? What about that one? Any votes? Come on.
That one's fine. We're gonna ignore that one.
No, that was typical in southern Cuba area. Crab ladies everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Crazy.
All right, I'll go with my number 1 then. Outer Worlds 2. This franchise, I think, has the possibility of overtaking Bethesda in this genre. I actually think that this game, if given the attention, especially Outer Worlds 1, right, based off of Outer Worlds 1, if given the attention, can be a better game than all of the Fallout franchise. I really think that. They took a lot of the writers from there. It's fantastic. I'm going to be replaying number 1. It's about 25-hour gameplay, so it's one of those, like, it's in the sweet spot, like God of War. It's about that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2, I like how honestly we're with, like, we don't have a story yet, but we're here. And I was just apeshit for it. And Advance Wars could have been overtaking it, but really an entirely new IP that I'm fully invested in. Yes, Outer Worlds 2. What's your number 1?
You're going to hate this.
I fucking know I am.
You're
Is
a
it from
freaking
Ubisoft?
hater.
Not even on my list or my honorable mentions. Go ahead.
You're a fucking hater, okay, of this series, but it's Avatar.
Of course it's Avatar. God damn it.
I'm an Avatar fanboy, okay? So I'm like, God, okay. So an open world game where I can just fly on these fucking pterodactyl things and then just kind of like, I don't know, kill off these people. My ass is sitting down for hours. I already know when that game comes out, done. Everything else is done. Everything put on hold.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I do like Avatar. I watched the movie a fuck ton, right? I watched it a lot when it came out. The 3D glasses and everything. But, it's just that I'm not upset with Avatar in general. I'm more of not a fan of how James Cameron's just like, oh, we're going to make 4 more of these and you guys will like them. I'm like, well, because it's kind of like pretentious. Like, dude, earn the 4. I don't know. That being said, I really love Lord of the Rings.
Earn
they
the
filmed
4.
all 3.
Avatar was like the number 1 movie, I think, probably still or something. What beat it? Something just beat it recently. What was it?
Well, Endgame beat it, and then they re-released Avatar again in like China just to make sure they could beat it again. So they ended up taking it back. So it's back to Avatar.
Yeah. Because that's right. Because I think Avengers was released in China, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like Avatar, so I want to make sure that's out there because I probably will like this game when it comes out, and I want to make sure I have something on the record. I just think that it's like, I was not happy the fact that I'm already like, James Cameron's going overboard, and now we're getting a game too. But you're right, it'll probably be a great game.
I mean, it's kind of like the Star Wars, really. I mean, we're gonna make this trilogy, and well, one, it actually does suck. Here, but they're obviously making new Star Wars games. The only thing that has me thinking is Ubisoft is kind of really known for like reskinning, right?
Yeah.
All the games are usually the same. What would this be? Let's just say it's a reskin. What would it be a reskin of? I'm thinking like probably Assassin's Creed, right?
I'm thinking
like
Far
jumping
Cry
off
Primal.
of things. Oh, that's a good one.
I think it's that. Because I think we actually, when she was running, they did show a first-person view for a sec. I watched that trailer a couple times while I was doing the article. They actually do show it's in first person at one moment. Which could be part of
do you like that? Do you like that if it was first person or
I love Far Cry. Yeah, honestly, the best way they could sell this to me is if it was just a Far Cry reskin. Because Far Cry is really great games. Yeah.
I'm curious. I wonder if I would like to see a third person view, only because I kind of want to see my character. Especially it looks like obviously we're going to probably edit our character. I'm assuming that'd be the smart way to go. And not be one central character.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to actually see my character. Yeah.
Ubisoft generally doesn't let you edit your character.
I know they don't. They don't.
If you know how you sell this goddamn game to me. You know how you do it. You pitch this game as bringing back the old Assassin's Creed gameplay, where it's a lot more about agility and less about like counter, block, dodge, parry.
Yeah.
Something like that would be fun.
Yeah. I'm hoping, man, I'm really hoping this is. Oh God, you got me scared about just the Far Cry reskin. I mean, I get it. I like Far Cry. That's cool. But I really want to just fucking make sure that like it feels like its own game with Avatar. You know.
I think it will. I think first off, we know that Ubisoft last year announced they are going to be changing how they develop games and not just using the same formula over and over again. That being said, I obviously love that formula. This might be the game that they made that announcement for because it is going to be so different than others. It does feel like it's likely you would unlock more parts of Pandoria by discovering some tall tower you climb up and looking around.
Oh God.
Like that. Right? Which is every Ubisoft game does that. Yeah. I don't know.
Which would be crazy if you're flying around on these like pterodactyl things, but fuck, I had a point for a second. What was it? Oh well, Ubisoft needs to step it up because they just they're still working on this open world Star Wars games. And obviously we know like Lucasfilms now has the Lucas Game Studio or whatever now. So it's like, man, you guys, you know, what the fuck? You know, you got the Fallen Jedi, which I didn't really care for that much.
Really?
Right? Fallen Order? Fallen Jedi.
Fallen Order.
Order, yeah.
That was EA. Wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was EA. Ubisoft does no, yeah, it was all EA, huh?
Well, yeah, because they basically had a contract with them.
Ubisoft Star Wars would be the new one. I don't know why I thought Ubisoft did it. It's probably because I was thinking Origin. I was tying Origin with Ubisoft and not EA. That's
probably because they weren't charging you for every goddamn skin and lightsaber you can get. They didn't think it was EA.
Yeah. So, but hopefully that now that any studio could make these Star Wars games, that they actually gave the mantle to Ubisoft. Like, hey, we trust you with this Avatar game. We trust you with the Star Wars. So hopefully it's a good sign.
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, because it would be Disney that owns both properties.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Disney, I love how they're just like, oh, who's the top dog? Is it Avatar or Avengers? And it's like, Disney's like, it don't matter. You guys keep fighting it out. We're good either way.
It was pretty much like, we can't not be top dog, so we're going to buy your franchise.
Yeah, I know.
That's how it worked.
Matter of time for they take Batman, by the way.
Shit.
All right, well.
What's your number one?
My number one, it was Outer Worlds 2. I did mine before
that's
you.
right. Duh. Yeah. No shit. Yeah, sorry.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed E3. We want to thank ESA, the guys that run E3, for inviting us again this year. We appreciate it. We will see you guys next year at the live event. I want to give a shout out to Scott, who's been writing articles every single day. There's been a couple times this week, the media week, and then this at the E3 itself, where I'm just like, Scott, I cannot write an article about Gilly Kid or whatever. Can you write an article? They've been asking for us to help them out. And boom, he's on top of it. He's writing an article. Nice. So I appreciate that. All right, guys, that's it. Next week, we have the interview coming out on Monday with the guys at DVSI Entertainment, a development studio that we talk about the Unity engine and what it's like to develop games, and then a couple of their upcoming titles. So it's really good. All right, we'll see you guys then. Bye.
See you.